Hello students, myself Dr. Sadhna Raut, Assistant Professor, Sinhagad College of Pharmacy, Vadgaon, Pune. In this session, I am going to explain one of the part of antibiotics, that is beta-lactam antibiotics. First of all, we have to see the definition and classification of antibiotics. Let's see about definition. Definition of antibiotic, that is, it is a substance which is produced by the microorganism, but it has capacity to inhibit the growth or to destroy the other microorganism, that is known as antibiotics. Let's see about classification of antibiotic. Beta lactam antibiotics, for example, penicillins, cephalosporins, monobactams, carbapenems. Second class is the beta-lactamase inhibitor. For example, clavulanic acid, sulbactam, tazobactam. Third one class is tetracyclines. For example, oxytetracycline, doxycyclines, etc. Fourth one class is nitrobenzene derivative. For example, chloramphenicol. Fifth one class is aminoglycosides. For example, streptomycin, gentamicin, amikacin, neomycin, etc. Next class is macrolide antibiotics. For example, erythromycin, roxithromycin, clarithromycin, azithromycin. Next class is lincosamide antibiotics. For example, lincomycin, clindamycin. And last one class is polypeptide antibiotics. For example, polymyxin B, colistin, bacitracin, tyrosine. So these are the different classes of antibiotics. Amongst these classes, we have to see only about beta-lactam antibiotics. Let's see about beta-lactam antibiotic. First of all, I will give you an introductory part of that beta-lactam antibiotic. So how the beta-lactam word came forward. So that's why we have to see the introductory part of it. The name lactam is given to cyclic amides. Cyclic amide, that is nothing but C double bond O NH, is in a cyclic form. That is nothing but lactam, and is analogous to the name lactone. For example, if suppose there is a cyclic ring with the oxygen in as a heterocycle in cyclic form, and if suppose we are attaching double bond O which is adjacent to oxygen heteroatom in cyclic or the tricyclic ring, that is nothing but your lactone, which is given to a cyclic esters. Next is antibiotics that contains the beta lactam. That beta lactam is a four-membered cyclic amide, that is a ring structure, which constitute the dominant class of agent currently employed for the chemotherapy of bacterial infections. So that beta lactams are the most widely used group of antibiotics available. Let's see about historical background. Before going to historical background, this is the structure of beta lactam. Actually, that beta lactam contains a NHC double bond O in a four-membered ring. So the historical background for such a kind of beta lactam ring. The first synthetic beta lactam was prepared by Hermann Staudinger in 1907 by reaction of the sheep base of aniline and benzaldehyde with or in presence of diphenyl ketone with the cycloaddition type of reaction. Up to 1970, most beta-lactam research was concerned with the penicillin and cephalosporin groups. But since then, a wide variety of structures have been described. This is the reaction how to form a sheep base aniline. So for that purpose, we have to take acetone. We have to react that acetone with the aniline. Then it will give the aniline base sheep base. Okay, that is nothing but sheep's base aniline. So we have to react that sheep's base aniline with the benzaldehyde in presence of diphenyl ketone with the help of cycloaddition type of reaction. It will give the beta lactam antibiotics. Beta-lactam antibiotics are also known as inhibitor of cell wall synthesis. So why the name is given? According to the mode of action of beta-lactam, they are considered as inhibitors of cell wall synthesis. So let's see how there are the different kinds of examples under the beta-lactam antibiotics and how they are giving name. So in that, first of all, we have to see the penicillins. So penicillins whose official names usually include the suffix that is the silin. In case of cephalosporins, we have to give the naming with the prefix that is the CEF, CEF or CEPH. Then carbapenems, for example, meropenem, imipenem. Then monobactam, aztreonam and beta-lactam is inhibitors, for example, clavulanic acid, sulbactam. Let's see in the family tree of beta-lactam antibiotics. We have to see just its generations and how when they are discovered and what are the structures of it. Let's see about your penicillin. Here is the structure of penicillin, which is comprised of beta-lactam ring, and this is the thiazolidine ring, which consists of heteroatoms, that is the thia and the nitro. This is the penicillin. Then cephalosporin, which contains a beta-lactam ring and the 6-membered dihydrothiazine ring. Okay, instead of while you are comparing that cephalosporin with the penicillin, penicillin contains a beta-lactam which is fused with the thiazolidine ring, but in cephalosporin it contains beta-lactam which is fused with the 6-membered dihydrothiazine ring. Then next one is that clavulanic acid. In that clavulanic acid, while you are comparing that clavulanic acid with the penicillin, penicillin contains the thiazolidine ring, but your clavulanic acid contains the oxazolidine ring. Next one is the carbapenems. Carbapenem shows same as like your penicillin structure, but instead of that sulfur, we have to put the carbon atom over here, and just we have to put the alkene, that means the presence of double bond at their position, at this position. That double, due to the presence of this double bond, that suffix is given in the carbapenems, that is the EMS, carbapenems. Next one is monobactam. Mono means single, bactam means we have to put beta-lactam in that. Just a single beta-lactam ring present in the monobactam. Next is ring and numbering system of clinically available beta-lactam antibiotic types. Here we have to use the different kinds of terms, that is the penem, penem, then carbapenem, then cefam, then monobactam. So in the penem, we have to see the numbering for the penem. In case of that, here is the bicyclo rings are there, this one and this one. So in that beta-lactam and the thiazolidine ring. Okay, so how the numbering is given to penem? For we have to give the numbering, okay, from the aza. Okay, that is nothing but from this nitrogen. We have to put the numbering from nitrogen 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6 and 7. Total 7 carbon containing alkane is heptane. Okay, so let's give the naming to this penem, that is the 4-thia, then 1-aza, bicyclo, 3-2-0. 3-2-0 is nothing but, if suppose bicyclo nomenclature we have to give, in that 3, that means this is fused carbon atoms over here. This is the first one and this is second one. Forget about your heteroatoms which are present over here, thia and aza. Okay, we can consider only for the bicyclo nomenclature. Alright, so due to the fusion of these 2 carbon atoms, this one and this one, I will put the mark over here, this one and this one. Okay, so while you are considering such a kind of fusion over here, remaining carbon atoms are how many remaining carbon atom over here? 1, 2 and 3. So that's why these three, that means the 3. Then we have to put a dot. Afterwards, we have to consider this one side of your bicycle. How many carbon atoms remaining over here? This one and this one. That means the 2 carbon. So that's why 2. 3.2, and in the fusion of in between these, okay, 2. Okay. So that is considered as, is there any presence of any carbon atom in between these 2 carbon, fused carbon? No. That's why we have to put 0. That is nothing but 320. And how many carbons, total carbons are over here? There are total carbons, that is the 7 carbon atoms over here. Okay. So 7 carbon atoms you have to see over here. Alright, so 7 carbon atom, that means the heptane. We have to put heptane word. Then at the 7th position there is the ketone. So that's why O and E suffix we have to give. Okay, that is the nomenclature for penum. Then see for the penem. In case of penem, same nomenclature as like your bicyclo we have to consider over here. Okay, only just we have to give the double bond position or mention the double bond position in that penem. So what would be the name for that? 4-thia, then 1-aza, 3-2-0, hept 2-in. At the second position there is presence of double bond, so that's why 2-in, 7-on. That is nothing but ketone. Let's see for the carbapenem. Carbapenem contains contains a double bond at the second and third position, and there is a lacking of here at the fourth position, lacking of sulfur or the thia group. So what would be the name for that? 1-aza, bicyclo, 3-2-0, hept. How many total carbon atoms we have to consider for the bicyclo? 7 carbon. So hept 2-in. Okay, 2-in. At second position there is a presence of double bond. So 7-on. Then let's see for the next one, CFAME. Okay, in that CFAME here is the presence of 6-membered ring with the thiazine. Okay, for that we can give the name, that is the thiazine. 6-membered ring with the nitrogen and sulfur, that is nothing but thiazine. So that in that CFAME, how we can give the name? We have to indicate the position of heteroatoms. 5-thia, 1-aza, bicyclo because of 2 rings fused. Then 4-2-0. Why 4-2-0? Because while you are considering that here is the 2 fused carbon atom. Okay, apart from these 2 fused, how many carbon atom? Firstly we have to select the long chain cyclic compound. That is the long chain, and this is the short chain. Okay, so long chain, that means how it can be long chain? Because it contains the higher number of carbon atom, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so that's why it is longer, and here is the shorter because 1 and 2, only 2 carbon atoms to this side or the in the your another cyclic ring. So that's why 4, 2, and in between these two fused carbon atom there is lacking of carbon, so that's why 0. So that's why it becomes 4-2-0 oct. Total number of carbon atoms over here, how many total carbon atoms? We can consider it 8. Okay, so that's why oct 2-in. At the second position there is the presence of double bond, so that's why oct 2-in, 8 O and E, on. Then next one, monobactam. In case of monobactam, just single beta-lactam ring is there, so that's why it is a monobactam. How we can give the name to that monobactam? 1-aza. Okay, 1-aza cyclobutane. Okay, cyclobutane, but at the fourth position there is the ketone, so that's why 1-aza cyclobutane, 4-on. That is the nomenclature or the numbering system for the clinically available beta-lactam antibiotic. Then let's see the classification of beta-lactam antibiotics. Beta-lactam antibiotics are broadly classified into 4 classes: penicillins, cephalosporin, carbapenems, monobactam. So let's see about penicillins. These are classified over here with the examples. For example, penicillin G, penicillin V, methicillin, naphthalene, oxacillin, cloxacillin, dicloxacillin, amoxicillin, carbanicillin, ticarcillin, then piperacillin, meslocillin, cefoxitin, aziocillin. And cephalosporins are divided into 5 different classes: first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth and fifth generation. So there are the number of examples which I given over here. Under the first generation: ampicillin, cefadroxil, cefalexin, cefalothin, cefapirin, and cifradin. And the second generation: cefazolin, cefandol, then cefonicid, then cefmetazole, then cefotetan, cefuroxime. Under third generation, I mentioned over here number of examples. Just I will give you 2 to 3 examples over here: cefaclor, then cefoperazone, then ceftriaxoxamine. And under fourth and fifth generation: cefepime, cefazopran, and cefpyrome. Next one, carbapenems. Carbapenems, for example, iritapenem, biapenem, doripenem, imipenem, panipenem. These are the examples of carbapenem. Then monobactams are classified, for example, Astrionum, Tigemonum, then Carumonum, then Nocardicin A. That is the classification with example. Next one is the mechanism of action of beta-lactam antibiotics. Actually, antibiotics give both a type of mode of action, that is nothing but bacteriostatic and bactericidal of action. Particularly in the beta-lactam, penicillins gives the mode of action by inhibiting the synthesis of peptidoglycan layer, that peptidoglycan layer which contains the NAM and NAG. That is nothing but N-acetylmuramic acid, and NAG means N-acetylglucosamine, which are connected by the penicillin binding proteins, that is nothing but PBP. And they act on, that is nothing but penicillin directly act on PBP and inhibits the synthesis of peptidoglycan. So, by the inhibition of synthesis of peptidoglycan, obviously it can inhibit the growth, or directly it can kill the microorganism. So there is a role of transpeptidase enzyme. Okay, so that transpeptidase located within the cell membrane are responsible for cross-linking the peptidoglycan chains. Okay, so in order to make the rigid grid, there is an enzyme that is called transpeptidase, which connects the little peptide string. Okay, and that string is perpendicular to the NAM and NAG chains. Okay, then first of all we have to see the first one class of beta-lactam, that is the penicillins. So first of all we have to see the historical background for the penicillins. So penicillins were first antibiotic which is discovered as a natural product from the mold penicillium. Okay, so the penicillin, the world's first antibiotic, was discovered by British scientist Alexander Fleming in 1928 on accident. That means Alexander Fleming accidentally discovered that antibiotic, that is the penicillin. So in 1928 Alexander Fleming discovered that compound which is produced by the fungus. And what is that fungus? That is nothing but Penicillium notatum. And it was from that Penicillium notatum there is isolation of penicillin. So Fleming noted a fungus growing on his bacterial plate had killed off surrounding bacteria. So afterwards Fleming, then Florey and Chain, all of them received a Nobel Prize in 1945 for the medicine for their work on the penicillin. So this is the structure of penicillin, which contains the beta-lactam ring and thiazolidine ring. Then Fleming accidentally left a dish of Staphylococcus bacteria and which is uncovered for few days. Okay, so he returned to find the dish dotted with the bacterial growth, and that is apart from one area. Okay, that one area in that there is particularly a growth of Penicillium notatum, which contains the penicillin which act as a antibiotic. That means that Penicillium notatum kills the staphylococcus bacteria from that particular area. Okay, and from that accidentally that Fleming discovered that penicillin, and this newly discovered active substance penicillin was effective even when diluted up to 800 times. Let's see about the chemistry of penicillin. So the structure, actually the penicillin structure is comprised of three basic units. So which are these 3 to 4 basic units? First one is beta lactam, second is your thiazolidine ring, third is your acyl amino side chain, and fourth one is carboxylic acid side chain. Then mechanism of action of penicillin. Penicillins are bactericidal antibiotic. Actually, they kills the microorganism when used at therapeutic dose. So the synthesis of cell wall of bacteria is completely dependent on the enzyme. So what is the name of that enzyme? That is the transpeptidase. So primarily penicillin inhibits the cell wall of bacteria by blocking the transpeptidase after binding to PBP. PBP is nothing but what? Penicillin binding protein, and it prevents the synthesis of bacteria. The next one is chemical degradation of penicillin. Okay, so as per the syllabus of your TYB farm, you have to remember the chemical degradation product of penicillin. So what are that chemical degradation product of penicillin? Here we can see the penicillin structure. If suppose I will do any kind of reaction in acidic media, okay, with the use of mercury chloride, it gives the phenylic acid. See over here. Instead of this 4-membered beta lactam ring, there is a diaza chain is inserted over here, or that is the structural changes in that. That is nothing but phenylic acid. And if suppose in presence of amidase enzyme, it is converted into 6-APA. Okay, that 6-APA, that is nothing but your 6-amino-penicillinic acid. Then next one, degraded product of penicillin. If suppose I will maintain the reaction condition in alkaline media with the use of lactamase or penicillinase type of enzyme, it gives the penicilloic acid. Okay, penicilloic acid. See over here, structural changes. Instead of this one C double bond O, that chain will be open in case of penicilloic acid, and that C double bond O, that becomes a acidic over here, that is nothing but COOH. That is nothing but penicilloic acid. Again, by changing the reaction condition instead of alkaline condition or with the use of lactamase penicillinase, here is we are using the methanol, and also it gives the penicilloic acid. Okay, after the decarboxylation of penicilloic acid, it gives the penyloic acid over here. Okay, and afterwards it gives the penyaldehyde and the penicillamine. And also by the treatment of silver chloride on the penicilloic acid, it gives the methyl penaldate, that is nothing but your ester, and the penicillamine. Next one is the classification of penicillins on the basis of different criteria. So what are these criteria? First of all, source. Okay, penicillins are classified on the basis of source, on the natural, or on the basis of semi-synthetic. So naturally, they are classified as penicillin G and penicillin V. And semi-synthetically, these are classified with these examples, oxacillin, cloxacillin, and so on. Then second, the penicillins are classified on the basis of route of administration. Actually, there are the 2 route of administration listed over here. According to that, they are classified. First one is oral route of administration. They are classified, for example, ampicillin given orally, amoxicillin given orally, and so on. Then parenteral route of administration. Then penicillin G, methicillin, nafcillin, they are administered parenterally. Next one is the third one, spectrum of activity. Actually, on the basis of spectrum of activity, they are classified into 4 different classes: narrow spectrum, broad spectrum, intermediate spectrum, extended spectrum. All these are the examples over here and listed in that. Fourth one is resistance to enzymes, resistance to beta lactamase, for example, methicillin, naphthalene, and so on. Then non-resistance to beta lactamase, for example, penicillin G, penicillin V, and so on. Last one is the resistance to acid. It is classified on the basis of resistance to acids, either that is the acid stable and acid unstable. Acid stable, for example, penicillin V, ampicillin, amoxicillin, oxacillin, and cloxacillin. And acid unstable, for example, penicillin G, methicillin, and so on. So here enlisted penicillin examples with their structures. I gave over here whole structure, whole moiety over here, and according to the R group only, I given the structures of different kinds of penicillin. For example, if suppose I will put, instead of this R, I will put a group, that is the CH2 with a benzene ring, that is nothing but benzyl penicillin or the penicillin G. And if suppose I will put, or I will replace that R group with the CH2O with the benzene ring, that is nothing but your penicillin V. So next one class is the CHNH2 with benzene ring, that is nothing but your ampicillin. The next one CHNH2 on that benzene ring, OH is the substitution, that is nothing but hydroxyl group substitution, that is nothing but your amoxicillin. And last one is the methoxy group on that benzene ring. Okay, 2 methoxy groups we have to put over here, and that is nothing but methicillin. Then SAR features, that is nothing but structural activity relationship of penicillin. We have to see according to the position. If suppose position 1, okay, when the sulfur atom of the thiazolidine ring is oxidized to sulfone or the sulfoxide, that is nothing but S double bond O, okay, it improves the acid stability but decrease the activity of the agent. Okay, and position 2, at that position 2, there are the 2 substitutions with the methyl group. Okay, with the methyl group. No substitution allowed at this position. Any change will lower the activity. Okay, but methyl group on that second position are the necessary for the activity. Then position 3, the carboxylic acid of the thiazolidine is required for activity. If it is changed to an alcohol or ester, the activity will be decreased. Then let's see about your position 4, that is nitrogen. Actually, that nitrogen is a must for the activity. Then let's see for the position 5th. No substitution is allowed at the position 5th. If suppose we are doing the substitutions or we are putting the substitution at position 5th, the activity will be changed. Then position 7, the carbonyl on the beta lactam ring, that is a must for the activity. And at the position 6, substitutions are allowed on the side chain of acyl amide. If suppose we are putting electron withdrawing group at this position, that gives the compound with the better acid stability. Why? Because this substitution will make the amide oxygen less nucleophilic. If suppose we are putting a bulky group, okay, we added close to the ring, that will make the compound more resistant to beta lactamase type of enzymes. And last one is that steric hindrance, if suppose provides, that protect the beta lactam ring. Let's see one by one penicillin example over here. Penicillin G, that is nothing but benzyl penicillin. Actually, benzyl penicillins are acid unstable, parental route of administration is preferred for that, and self-destructive mechanism in its structure because of influence of acyl side chain. Okay, that is highlighted over here. And also, such a kind of penicillin G as well as the penicillin V and the phenethicillin, these are considered as penicillinase susceptible type of penicillins. What does it mean? Actually, there are the different characteristics of such a kind of penicillinase susceptible penicillins. So, which are these characteristics? That is the gram gram positive potency, that penicillin, susceptible type of penicillins gives the good gram positive potency against the staphylococci and the streptococci, and also it is useful against the gram positive, some of the gram positive cocci only, but it is not effective against the gram negative bacilli. Okay, then next one after that, that is the just penicillin V. What is the characteristic of penicillin V? It is a more acceptable than the penicillin G, and it can be administered by oral route. An electron withdrawing group is present over here in the acyl side chain. Okay, the next one, methicillin, oxacillin, cloxacillin, dioxacillin, dicloxacillin, then floxacillin. All these examples comes under the penicillinase resistant penicillins. So penicillinase resistant penicillins have different kinds of properties. So which are these properties? That is, it decreases the susceptibility to many penicillinase and active against the microorganism which are resistant to early penicillin. And last one is, amongst these methicillin, oxacillin, cloxacillin, amongst all these, oxacillin offer a good oral activity. Then that oxacillin, cloxacillin, dicloxacillin and flucloxacillin, these are comes under the isoxazolyl penicillins. Okay, so these are the better penicillinase resistant penicillins. Then next one is that is the ampicillin. Okay, so ampicillin, then next one example is that amoxicillin, then talampicillin. All these are the comes under the different kind of penicillin. Okay, so what is the name of that class? That is nothing but aminopenicillins, because presence of amino group or the substitution instead of here or in the acyl amide amino side chain. Okay, there is the substitution with the amino group, so that's why the name is given for such a kind of penicillins, that is the aminopenicillins. Okay, so the aminopenicillins have examples, that is ampicillin, amoxicillin and the talampicillin. So in that, these are the particularly we have to see about penicillins. Penicillin is the acid stable one. Okay, you can see over here aniline group which I have to put instead of for your R group of your penicillin moiety. If the hydrophilic groups, that is NH2OH or COOH, we are attaching in that, okay, that is the alpha to the carbonyl carbon over here. This is the carbonyl carbon, and there that one is the carbon which is considered as a alpha 1. Okay, if suppose we are putting the substitution on that alpha carbon atom with the hydrophilic group, if suppose NH2OH COOH, okay, so that these are given a activity against the better activity against the gram negative bacteria. Then amoxicillin. Amoxicillin is nothing but beta hydroxypenicillin. You can see over here in the structure at the position of beta. Here is the hydroxy group, beta hydroxy ampicillin. Okay, it gives the same spectrum of activity as that of the penicillin G, but more active against the gram negative bacteria, and it is a acid resistant. Hence, there is the route of administration is preferred, that is the oral route. And amoxicillin is the non-toxic in nature. Next, second class after the penicillins, that is nothing but your cephalosporins. So cephalosporins are discovered shortly after the penicillin entered into the widespread product, but not developed till the year 1960s. Cephalosporins are similar to penicillins but have one difference, that is the 6-membered dihydrothiazide ring instead of 5-membered thiazolidine ring in the penicillins. And there is one more point, that is the 7-amino cephalosporanic acid, that is nothing but 7-ACA, can be obtained from the bacteria. And that cephalosporins were isolated from the cultures of Cephalosporium acremonium by Italian scientist, that is the Giuseppe Brozzu, in the year of 1945. In the year of 1948, Abraham and his colleagues have isolated three principal antibiotic components from the culture of fungus, that is cephalosporin P, cephalosporin N and cephalosporin C. Okay, cephalosporin P, that cephalosporin P is an acidic antibiotic which is steroidal in nature, and cephalosporin N, that has a penicillin like structure and which is derived from 6-APA, that is nothing but 6-aminopenicillinic acid, and cephalosporin C, that is nothing but your true cephalosporin, and it is a derivative of 7-aminocephalosporanic acid. Then in 1964, the first semisynthetic cephalosporin, that is cephalodin, was launched in the market by the Eli Lilly and Company. And unlike penicillin, cephalosporins have two side chains which can be easily modified. And cephalosporins are also more difficult for beta-lactamase to hydrolyze. Let's see the mechanism of action of cephalosporins. Cephalosporins give similar mode of action as like penicillins. Okay, so but are less susceptible to penicillinase. Cephalosporin disrupt the synthesis of peptidoglycan layer of the bacterial cell wall, and that peptidoglycan layer is important for the cell wall structural integrity. The final transpeptidation step in the synthesis of peptidoglycan is facilitated by transpeptidase known as PBPs, that is nothing but penicillin binding proteins. PBPs directly binds to D-alanine at the end of neuropeptides, which is cross-link the peptidoglycan. So beta-lactam antibiotic mimic this site and competitively inhibit the PBP cross-linking of peptidoglycan. Let's see over here in this diagram, there is inhibition of bacterial cell wall synthesis after binding of cephalosporins at PBP. So there is role of transpeptidase type of enzymes which is inhibited, that is leading to the failure of cross linking of peptide chain. Okay, so that's why there is no stability of the cell wall, and so the bactericidal action will be exhibited by the lysis of cell wall deficient forms. Then classification of cephalosporins. These are classified into 5 different classes: first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation and fifth generation. Amongst these 5 classes, only fourth and fifth generated type of cephalosporins administered only parenterally. But these first 3 classes, first, second and third generation, they can be administered through orally as well as the parenterally. And there are the number of examples enlisted in each every class. The structure of cephalosporins. The structure of cephalosporins comprised of beta-lactam ring, dihydrothiazine ring. Okay, and at the side chain there is acyl side chain, acylamide side chain, and here on the third position there is the R2 substitution with the different kinds of substituents. Let's see about first generation cephalosporins. So first generation cephalosporins are very active against the gram-positive cocci such as pneumococci, streptococci and the staphylococci. Okay, and it could not able to cross the blood-brain barrier. So there are the number of examples over here with their R1 and R2 group. For example, cefadroxil having a R1 group, that is the on the benzene ring substitution with the OH and CH NH2, and R2 is methyl group. Then second example is cefazolin with this tetrazole ring with the methylene group, that is CH2 over here, and here is a diazothiazine ring with the CH2S and CH3. And cephalexin contains this benzene ring with the CHNH2 and R2 is CH3. Then what are the therapeutic uses of first generation cephalosporin? When gram-positive bacteria is involved, a first generation agent are preferred. But when the pathogen is gram-negative and the infection is serious, then there is preference of parental use of third generation agents. Then first generation cephalosporins are excellent agent for skin and soft tissue infections due to Staphylococcus aureus and Staphylococcus pyogenes, and a single dose of cefazolin just before surgery is preferred as a prophylaxis. So, the clinical uses of first generation cephalosporin. First generation cephalosporin are used in the different kinds of infections. First one is impetigo. Impetigo is caused due to the Staphylococcus aureus and Streptococcus pyogenes. So that impetigo, that is a kind of common and a highly contagious type of skin infection that mainly affects in the infants and the children's. Then second is the cellulitis. Cellulitis is a group A Staphylococcus bacterium or caused due to the group A Staphylococcus bacterium as well as Streptococcus pyogene, and that GAS, that is nothing but group A Streptococcus bacterium, that is nothing but GAS, and Staphylococcus aureus. Thus, that cellulitis is also a common and sometimes painful bacterial skin infection. Okay, so it may first appears as a red, okay, and a swollen area that feels hot and tender to touch. That is nothing but cellulitis. Third one is prophylaxis of a surgical wound infection. It is produced by the gram-positive bacteria. Okay, that is your prophylaxis of surgical wound infection. Then second generation cephalosporin, they have a greater gram-negative spectrum while retaining some activity against the gram-positive bacteria. So they are also more resistant to beta-lactamase enzyme, but it could not able to cross the BBB. There are the lot of examples enlisted over here. So okay, Cefaclo with the R1 is a benzene ring with CHNH2 and the R2 is Cl. Okay, then ceforamide, then here is the substitution with the benzene ring CH2NH2 CH2, and at the R2 that is considered as a hydrogen itself, and so on. Then therapeutic uses of second generation cephalosporins. Second generation agents have inferior activity against the penicillin resistant, that is the Streptococcus pneumoniae, compared to either the third generation agent or the ampicillin, and therefore these should not used for the treatment of meningitis or the pneumonia. But in case where the gram-negative bacteria or anaerobes are involved, such as intra-abdominal infection, then pelvic inflammatory disease and diabetic foot infection, cefoxitin and cefotetan have been shown to be effective. Also, that cefoxitin and the cefotetan are preferred in the colorectal surgery, okay, where the prophylaxis for the intestinal anaerobes is desired. Clinical uses of second generation cephalosporin. It can be used clinically in the meningitis. Okay. The next one is the gonorrhea, in the treatment of gonorrhea, which is caused due to the Neisseria gonorrhea. The pneumococcal type of infections, in some of the cases it can be preferred, and also only ceftazidime is used against the Pseudomonas aeruginosa type of infection. Then third generation cephalosporin. Third generation drugs exhibit the least activity against the gram-positive bacteria, but they give the potent activity against the gram-negative bacteria. So there are the number of characteristics of third generation cephalosporin, which is included over here. It gives the extended antibacterial spectrum, includes Pseudomonas aeruginosa, but it gives the less activity on the gram positive bacteria as compared with the first and second generation. So these are the number of examples with R1 and R2 substitution under the third generation. That is the Cefdinir. Cefdinir R is this one ring, heterocycle ring, and R2 is CH double bond CH2. Then cefditorin Poaxil with the R1 and R2 substitution. Then ceftyl butane with the R1 and R2 is H. Then cefixime with this substitution at R1 and R2. Then cefoxetine R1 and R2 substitution. Also, remaining characteristic of third generation cephalosporin, they are most active on gram negative bacteria. Also, they have high stability with the beta lactamase, easy penetration to different tissues, and then have broad distribution, as well as they give the little kidney toxicity. So remaining examples listed over here with the R1 and the R2 substitution. Then therapeutic uses of third generation cephalosporin. So there are the number of therapeutic uses of third generation cephalosporin, and that is the best choice for the serious infection which is caused by the Klebsiella, Enterobacter, Proteus, Haemophilus species. Ceftriaxone is now drug of choice for all forms of gonorrheal type of infection or the gonorrhea. Then cefotaxime or the ceftriaxone, okay, as a part of 3-drug combination with vancomycin and ampicillin, that is mostly preferable in the treatment of meningitis in non-immunocompromised adult and compromised adults and children which are older than 3 months. Then the combination of ceftazidime and aminoglycoside, that is the best choice for the Pseudomonas meningitis type of infection. And last one is the antimicrobial spectrum of cefotaxime and the ceftriaxone is excellent for the treatment of community acquired pneumonia, that is caused by the pneumococci and influenzae and Staphylococcus aureus. Then fourth generation cephalosporins. Actually, fourth generation cephalosporins are zwitterionic type of compounds. That is nothing but zwitterionic compounds, that is nothing but which contains or the compounds which contains the positively charged and negatively charged ions in that only one compound itself. That is nothing but zwitterionic compounds. And that fourth generated or generation cephalosporins have good affinity for the transpeptidase type of enzymes. That's why it gives the good activity. Low affinity for the some beta lactamase, and it can cross the BBB and effective against meningitis. Okay, so the example under the fourth generation type of cephalosporin, that is the cefepime, which is given parenteral route of administration only. Then fourth generation are indicated for the empirical treatment for the nosocomial infections. Nosocomial infection, that is acquired from the hospital itself, that means hospitalized patient, if suppose they are suffering from any kind of disease through this hospital only, they again suffer from the different kind of infection, that is nothing but nosocomial type of infection, where antibiotic resistance due to extended spectrum beta lactamase are anticipated in that infection. For example, we can consider cefepime that have a superior activity against the nosocomial isolates of Enterobacter, Citrobacter, which is compared to the ceftazidime and the piperacillin. Last one is the fifth generation cephalosporins. Fifth generation cephalosporins are active against the methicillin resistance, which is caused due to the Staphylococcus aureus, penicillin resistance caused due to the Streptococcus pneumoniae, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and Enterococci. So the best example given over here under the fifth generation, that is the ceftobiprole. This is the structure of ceftobiprole. Here is the basic moiety. Only we have to put R1 substitution over here, and here is the R2 substitution. So in short, if suppose you wanted to remember all that things with lesser examples with the activity against which kind of bacteria, okay, in shorter way you can remember this slide only. Then SAR features of cephalosporin. Actually, for the activity there is important four kinds of groups or four kinds of ring, or we can say four kind of we can say groups, okay, is important for the activity of the cephalosporin. So that there is important, which groups are important, that is the ring. Firstly we can consider the ring, that is your beta lactam ring, and the here is your dihydrothiazine ring, which is important for the activity, as well as this acylamide chain is also important for the activity, and acidic group is also important for the activity. We can substitute that R1 and R2 with the different kinds of substitution. So let's see about your first one, that is about here. We can consider here that is R3. If suppose your H is the R3, okay, instead of R3 we have to put the H. Okay, so the hydrogen at a C6 position is important for the activity, and if suppose we are replacing this one R3 hydrogen, if suppose we are replacing with the OCH3, that is your C7 position, okay, if suppose we are replacing that hydrogen with the OCH3, that cefamycin resistant with greater affinity towards the with greater activity towards the beta lactamase. And if suppose we are putting instead of this R, that is the NHCHO, okay, it also gives the cefamycin resistant with the greater towards the beta lactamase than the cefamycin, okay. Then next one, after that the second thing is that is the regarding with the dihydrothiazine. Here is sulfur is very important for the activity. If suppose that is replaced with the sulfoxide group, okay, it gives sulfoxide group, it gives the better activity, okay, that means the appreciable antibacterial type of activity. If suppose we are putting oxygen atom instead of sulfur over here, then oxycefam, okay, oxycefam with a similar or greater antibacterial activity, okay, than the cephalosporin. Also it possesses the high resistance towards the beta lactamase. And if suppose we are putting instead of this sulfur, we are putting the CH2 group directly, no heteroatom we are putting at that position, okay, only we can consider there is the CH2, okay. If suppose there is the CH2, the carbacefams we can consider that is as a carbacefams, okay, and that have a greater chemical stability and it can possess the antibacterial activity, okay. So that is regarding with the dihydrothiazine ring. The next one, the substitution at a C3, that is nothing but your R2. If suppose that R will be a hydrogen, then chlorine, then OCH3, then ether, that is the CH2OCH3, it gives the acid stable type of antibiotics or the cephalosporin, and that exhibit shorter half-life, okay. If suppose we'll put instead of this R2, we can put if suppose alkyl ester, okay, it gives the antibacterial activity of the derivative which resembles that of the cephalosporin, okay, and also it gives the higher affinity towards the PBPs. If suppose we are putting instead of this R, that is the CH2O C double bond O CH3, that is nothing but your ester, okay, that is 3-carbamoyl cephalosporin, and both are metabolically as well as the acid unstable, okay, and possibly they have the shorter half-life also. Then if suppose we are putting instead of this R2, that is the benzoyl ester, okay, after putting benzoyl ester over there, they increase the antibacterial activity against the gram-positive bacteria, but decrease the gram-positive, decrease the gram-negative bacterial activity. And if suppose we are putting the pyridine ring instead of this R2, metabolically and acidically it can be stable one and it can be decrease the oral absorption, okay. Then if suppose we are making a modification at your C4 position, that is your carboxylic acid group, okay, so that carboxyl group at C4, it enables in the converting the drug into salt form. Okay, so that's why the prodrug can be formed which facilitate the oral absorption, and it can be enhance the bioavailability. For example, cefodoxime proxetil, it increase the bioavailability due to the salt formation at a C4 position. If suppose we are performing instead of this unsaturation at the position 3 and 4, okay, at the position of 3 and 4 double bond is present. Actually that double bond is important for the antibacterial activity. Okay, if suppose we are shifting that double bond from this position to this position at a second and third, it will be decrease the activity. Okay, then next one is if suppose at R1 we can consider here acylamido side chain. Okay, if suppose at that position we are putting sulfonic acid SO3H, the derivative which possesses the anti-pseudomonal type of activity, and if suppose we are putting the amino group, then hydroxyl group or the aldehyde kind of a group, that would be a, or such a kind of derivatives would be a more acid stable than the cephalosporin. Okay, as well as it also possesses a optimal activity against the gram positive bacteria. Okay, which I told over here, that is the SAR features over here. Then what are the advantages of cephalosporin over penicillins? It can increase the acid stability compared with the penicillin. Most of the drugs have better absorption than the penicillin. It gives the broad antimicrobial spectrum. It can be increased activity against the resistant microorganism. The next one is that it can decrease allergenicity, and it can be increased tolerance than the penicillin. Then next class after the cephalosporin is beta-lactamase inhibitor. So what are the characteristics of beta-lactamase inhibitor? It has the negligible antibacterial activity. It can be given with the combination with the penicillin, which can be increase the spectrum of activity. Then next is it can gives the microbial resistance to beta-lactam antibiotics. Okay, so that microbial resistance or the bacterial resistance we can say, that means what? Actually bacterial resistance to antibacterial antibiotic. Okay, it can be made possible by the production of beta lactamase. So there is a role of beta lactamase over here. So what can that beta lactamase can do? Beta lactamase enzyme that confers the resistance by breaking open chain the beta lactam structure of antibiotic, so deactivating the antibacterial properties of beta lactam ring. So that's why we have to inhibit the growth of such a kind of beta lactamase enzyme. Okay, so how it can be inhibiting that beta lactam antibiotics, okay, which contains the beta lactam ring. We have to catalyze the hydrolysis of beta lactam ring. It can give the inactive type of compound. So that what we have to use, with the use of beta lactam antibiotic, we can use the beta lactamase inhibitor. It gives the complex structure and it gives the activity of a beta lactam antibiotics. Okay, with the effectiveness of beta lactamase diminishing. For example, there are the three examples of beta-lactamase inhibitors. First one is clavulanic acid, which is isolated from the Streptomyces clavulinium, and the first naturally occurring beta-lactam ring that was not fused to the S-containing ring. Instead of this sulfur over here, we have to put the oxygen. Okay. Then sulbactam. Actually, that sulbactam is the beta-lactamase disabling agent, and it can be prepared by the partial chemical synthesis from the penicillins. And last one, third one example is tazobactam. This is the structure of tazobactam. Instead of sulfur or the we can say thia group, we have to put sulfoxide group over here. It can be co-administered with the piperacillin. It has little or no antibacterial activity, but we are using in combination with the beta-lactam antibiotics, so that's why. Okay, here that table shows the beta lactamase inhibitors with the beta lactamase binding and the potency. So that clavulanic acid have lesser binding, beta lactamase binding, but greater potency. But sulbactam have a greater beta lactamase binding but lesser potency. But tazobactam gives the higher binding at the beta lactamase and also higher potency. Last one class of your beta lactam antibiotic, that is the monobactam. Monobactam are the drug with a monocyclic beta lactam ring. You can see over here. They are relatively resistant to beta lactamase and active against the gram-negative rods, which are including the Pseudomonas and the Serratia. They have no activity against the gram-positive bacteria or anaerobes. For example, there is the Astrionum and the Tigemonum. So, just I will mention over here single example, Astrionum. Actually, this is the structure of Astrionum. Here is the whole substitution at your R1 position. Okay. Astrionum is given intravenously. The half-life is 1 to 2 hours only and have a greater prolonged in and is greatly prolonged in the renal failure. Okay, so penicillin allergic patient tolerate the Astrionum without any kind of allergic reactions. Thank you so much.